Okay. So, hello everyone. Welcome to Entrepreneurs International Network. My name is Keisha Carter. I am the organizer of EIN, and I'm super excited for having an amazing speaker for today, Diann Alexander. So, Diann will discuss five fear busting, audience engaging confidence skills every speaker needs. But before Diann comes to our virtual stage to talk about this topic, we want to talk about what Entrepreneurs International Network is and how you can get the most out of everything that EIN offers. So I see that there's a lot of new faces in the call. I just want to say that EIN is an organization that helps entrepreneurs find free or inexpensive education that can help them to network and grow their entire business. So in every single event, we'll have education and networking session during our Q&A and gratitude circle where you can find your potential joint venture partners and clients. And we also have an app called Entrepreneurs International Network. And to download them on your mobile phones, just head on to Google Play or App Store and find Entrepreneurs International Network to get access to a lot of other pieces of education. I'm going to put that on the chat box. There you go. And after that, we also have our official website, eintalks.com, where you will be able to see the recording of all our past events that we've had. Plus, you'll be able to take a peek on our upcoming events and register there. So, I highly recommend that you download our app and visit our website so you can get access to all the information that I just shared. So today's event will run for 90 minutes or an hour and a half, and we'll have our speaker give her talk for 45 minutes. Then they will receive a private chat reminder of the time left for your talk. After that is a 15-minute question and answer portion by the audience. And lastly, another 15 minutes for our audience to share their takeaways and their gratitude to our speaker. And after that, we'll be wrapping up and close the event by 10:30 a.m. Pacific. And with that, let's go to our beautiful and amazing speaker for today, Diann Alexander. So Diann Alexander is a veteran voice and performance coach, confidence catalyst, public speaker, and a two-time Amazon best-selling author with over 50 years experience. So Diann helps presenters develop fear-busting confidence skills so they can inspire their audiences to action. And so I'm so excited to have Diane on our stage to share with us her amazing talk and how we can apply this in our business. So, Diane, the stage is all yours.
Welcome, welcome, everyone. I am so delighted to be here. I just first want to say thanks, Keziah. Thanks for having us here. And the amazing Iman Biaka guy, who also is, I think, one of your partners in presenting these wonderful things to people. You're probably going to want to take notes. I'm not a PowerPoint gal, but I'm going to give you tons and tons of tips. And once I launch into my speech, I'll give you 5 things that we're going to do. And then at the end, ask me a million questions. All right, ready? Roll up your sleeves, get out your writing devices. Here we go. The average attention span of a human is 8.25 seconds. When you have a presentation with money or a job on the line, what do you do when the fear monster shows up in those precious 8.25 seconds? Most likely, your head goes up, your chest goes down, all energy goes to the arms, so you can either fight, run away, or freeze so they don't see you. You can barely breathe, let alone think or captivate an audience. Perhaps your mouth gets dry. You begin to shake. You can't remember what you were going to say. And then the not good enough monster joins the fear monster, followed by the monkey mind with its endless supply of, why did you ever think that was a good idea? And you're just going to mess it up anyway. It feels like your first chance for a good first impression is just poof, vanished. And how in the world will you ever recover? Do you know anyone with stage fright? Well, if the number one fear is public speaking, chances are extremely good you do, because 77% of all adults suffer with some form of fear of public speaking. I sure did. I'm Diann Alexander, the Confidence Catalyst. Welcome. Welcome and thank you for having the heart and the courage to show up today. Today, we're going to break down that stage fright monster and give you 5 practical fear busting confidence skills. When practiced, these skills can shift you from nervous to noteworthy in moments. So, may I share with you why I've spent over 50 years researching and collecting effective confidence building solutions? These have been success game changers for hundreds of my students and professionals from tax education to Broadway. Thanks, I was hoping you'd say yes. Like many of us, I grew up in a fairly turbulent household. My MO was to make myself small, scarce, quiet, never inflame the big people, be the perfect daughter, just don't be seen. I became the behind the scenes person. I wrote and arranged the music, but solos, no. My life changed forever one day, waiting for my girlfriend outside opera workshop class. This voice, it's a voice class where people sing, and the door creaked open, and this professor stuck his little head out and said, "We're short a singer. Come in here and sight read this. Nice voice, take the class. And by the way, you need voice lessons." Ah! Voice lessons. Oh my gosh. That was struck fear into the heart of me down to I could barely breathe. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part, at the end of the semester, they had these horrific things called juries, and they are just as bad as they sound. It's where you have to sing in front of the voice faculty for a grade. Oh, I couldn't think of anything worse. But can you imagine how awful that would be? You have to sing languages you didn't know, songs you hadn't sung. And I was so afraid that they were going to find out that I really didn't know what I was doing. I was afraid that they were going to criticize me for things that I wasn't aware of and tell me I wasn't good enough and kick me out. I was afraid I was going to let everyone down, my faculty, my parents, me. So the day for the jury came. I remember clutching my books tightly. And I didn't tell you, they didn't just think that the jury was enough for me. They had me go in the public jury. And the public jury is where they invite the entire faculty, all of the students, and they can bring their friends and family. Oh my gosh. So here's me at the back of this really long room, clutching onto my book, shuffling down the hall, trying not to look at the people on the right or the people on the left. Somehow, by the grace of God, I managed to give my books to the accompanist without dropping them. And do you know how a grand piano has that big black curve in it? I hung onto the piano and just slithered my way around, feeling into the curve, because I knew I was so nervous. If I didn't grab onto that big black thing on top, I was going down. I was so nervous. My mom said you could see my knees shake from the back of the room. It was horrific. And all of those not good enough, monkey mind, can't do it thoughts just flood through your brain. I don't really remember very much else about that jury. All I do remember is the debilitating fear and never wanting to have to experience it again. In college, back when I went to college, there really wasn't very much help. They would tell you, practice until you can't get it wrong. Well, that's okay if you're in the practice room. But the minute you get out on the stage and you have audience and you have lights and you have other people and you have things that can go wrong and you have things that can distract you, it's no longer apples to apples. It's a whole nother thing. So that really didn't work very much. I mean, I was good at my thing, but with all the nerves running around, it was another subject entirely. Or this one's my favorite. You've probably heard this one. Imagine them in their underwear. Did that ever work for you? Sure didn't work for me. So then the third one they would say is just pump up a lot of energy. Go, 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 go. Well, yes, but if you were like me, who I was a freezer, we'll talk about that in a minute, but I got tight like this. I'm trying to hold down all these emotions that are going like this anyway. And to tell me to pump up emotion on top of it, it's like throwing gasoline on a fire. Yeah, that didn't work either. So why didn't any of these work? Well, it's because they're not addressing the underlying issue. You just can't paint over panic. The big missing piece was understanding the nature of the beast. The subconscious mind is always trying to keep us safe. It doesn't know the difference between a real bear or the not good enough monster. If it feels threatened, the brain activates the emergency fight, flight, freeze response. You can barely breathe. All your creative energies have been diverted to handle the threat. It's like a trapdoor in your brain goes from, la, 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 I'm creative and everything's good to, wonk, I can't think, we got to get out of here, or we got to deal with this. And so it's like in an instant that shuts on and we're no longer functional. We're no longer the person who was in the practice room. So are you ready for some good news? So get out your notepads for sure, because I've got lots of things to share with you in 5 different subjects that over the 50 years I've been doing this, I've found to be, in this order, the best way to start to deal with this monster. We're going to have physical skills, mental skills, energetic skills, emotional skills, and sonic. So all of these are effective for flipping that emergency switch back and open to creative and connected. They all work and play well with each other and other confidence techniques that you might know. So take a moment right now, and as we're talking about this, make a little note of how are you feeling? Is your breath deep? Is your breath tight? Is your neck tight? Is your brain wandering? Are you curious? Are you on the end of the seat? Do you wish that I would talk slower? Whatever it happens to be, just kind of write them down. We're going to come back to those later. So one of the big helpful things that we're going to use is a troubleshooting technique that I have found pretty much works in every time. One is, what do you want to do? Well, I want to be on stage and be confident and connect with my audience and bring my message over in a way that it's well received. Okay. Number 2, what are you doing? I think I'm freaking out a little bit and I can only think about how much I want to get off the stage. Okay. Number 3, do the opposite of number 2. It's simple, but you're going to see it really, really helps. So, number 1, physical. Let's deal with how physically happens when you go in fight and flight. As we talked about before, the neck gets tight, the breath goes down, and the body tightens so it can handle the situation. Whether you're somebody who runs away, whether you're somebody who freezes like I was, or whether you're somebody who wants to deal with it, get right up and handle the situation right away, or put that heckler in his place, or whatever it happens to be for you. Just notice where that is. Now, what does happen to us? Okay, tighten the neck, your neck as tight as you can, and try and inhale. It's really hard. Now, bubble your neck and try and inhale. A little easier, right? Now, take your hands, put them on your belly, bubble your neck, and inhale down into your hands. Easier still. One more. Bubble your neck, hands on the belly, inhale through your nose. Nice and deep. Hold it a couple seconds and sigh out. Easier still, right? So in a few moments, you have unlocked that trap door from tight and tense into being able to breathe. And once this is over, you can start to think again. So you can remember your words, so you can connect with things. So as you might guess, I get to go into more detail with you. So I'm so excited. Usually that's all I talk about is the breath, but posture is a key. And the first place with posture is that neck. What we want is our energy flow to be free and easy, right? So you want to think of your posture as being long and flowing, like you have energy coming out the top of your head and energy going down and anchoring you into the earth. The bigger you can make that feeling of your posture being, I'm very tall and so happy to be here, and I'm also grounded, I know exactly where I am on this stage, the more that tells the subconscious, I'm okay. So posture is really important. And there's 2 quick things that I tell my singers, but I'm going to tell you that help as well. When you get really nervous, chances are you're going to go like this. So if you can pick those shoulders up, feel like you're moving your head up from the back of your head so it's tall. You don't want to pull up from the front of your head. So you pull up from the front of your head, you get this sticking out, which is not good. But from the back, you're opening up that whole energy of flow. And also from posture from the side, people do funny things with their hips, or they sit down doing too many telephone calls and being on our iPhone, but stay up. If you pick your knee up out in front of you, you'll find your back straightens and everything else goes boop, 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 right up on top of it, and you have found your balance. Because probably when you're nervous, you're going to be collapsing around your creative center here, your solar plexus. This is a center of a great deal of power and personal connection. So we protect it when we're nervous. So what do we want? We want to be tall. What are we doing? We're collapsing. So let's do the opposite of the collapse. What's the opposite of that? The marionette string, like you're coming up, or you can use the little knee up guy to get your hips underneath you. And practice in a mirror to see where are your particular posture things that you do. And what is the opposite of collapsing down? Ta-da! Opening up. Okay, that was fun. All right. So when you got your breath all the way down here, you activated your parasympathetic nervous system. And that is physiologically what happens to get that fight and flight back into confidence. All right. Number 2, mindset. Imagine them in their underwear. No, I'm kidding. Okay. But there were 2 things I learned about mindset that totally changed everything for me. We had a tenor soloist in church. His name was Fred. And when Fred had a solo, he would walk out with his robes flowing in front of the congregation and pause for a moment and look out at them. And you could hear a pin drop. Everybody loved Fred. And so one day I got up my courage to ask him, I said, Fred, everybody loves you. What do you do? And he said simply with a big smile on his face, when I walk out there, I send each and every one of them love. I send them gratitude that I'm grateful that you're here, that we're going to celebrate together, and I send them all love. My mind was blown. When I had a solo, do you know what I did? Please like me. Please like me. Don't mess up. Don't mess up. Please like me. It's completely different. The next solo I had, I said, okay, I'm going to try Fred's thing. And so I walked out sending everybody love. Oh my goodness. It got the attention off me onto who I really wanted to connect with in the first place. And everything in that moment changed forever. It changed completely. It changed forever. So in the time it takes you to go, oh, please like me. Hope I don't mess up. To, I am so grateful you are here. Thank you for taking your time to be here. And because I know you have something important to share. And if you can feel confident in it and learn something new, you're going to bring that out to the world. And we need so much more positivity, so much more of your love, of your passion to bring things up in the world. The more of us that do this, the better a place it gets to be. So the second one is one you've probably heard a lot. It's also quick, but it's such a difference. If you think about, I have to do this. Notice what happens in your body. Don't you kind of collapse in? And it's kind of a subtle, more ugly form of fight and flight. Ugh. Now, what if you still have the thing to do, but you get to say, I get to do this. I get to speak to these beautiful people out here and share with them something that's really important to me. And if it just touches one person, I'm successful. Everything changes. The subconscious brain doesn't know whether it's a real bear or not a real bear. In fact, it doesn't really even know the difference between right and wrong. It only knows what you tell it. It only knows what you've been told. It only knows what you have accepted as what is the truth for you. So why can't we tell it, I get to do this? Why can't we tell it, I want to send let's send these people, I'm sending these people love. Food for thought. Okay. One of my favorite things that is new for a lot of people is 3, energetic. This is where people talk about grounding, or I'm spaced, or I'm all over the place. Everything is energy, from the smallest atoms and quarks up to the solar systems and galaxies. Everything vibrates at its own frequency, including you. Each of us has our own unique signature vibration. What does this all mean? Well, we use it all the time. We use it every day. We're just not aware of it. However, think of the last time you went to a party. And at the party, someone was having a great time. Didn't you want to go over there and stand by them? You were uplifted by their wonderful energy, by their heightened mood. And then comes in the person, oh, woe is me, we're doomed. Who do you want to stand next to? So we have the opportunity to choose which of those we want to be. And when we are in a more contracted state, I mean, think about a family member who's grumpy. Do you want to stand by them? Why? How do you know? It's a little body language, but don't you feel it? Sometimes you can feel it before you even turn around and look at them. We can use that ourselves. So first step is to start to get aware of how you feel. Remember, I asked you to take a little inventory of how you feel earlier. Now we're going to play with this a little bit. This I first learned as an acting exercise way back in college. So first, be aware of your own energy. Do you have anything tight in your body? How's your breathing? Is it shallow? Can you make it bigger? Where are your feet on the floor? You can rub your hands together. Just really notice, where are you in the picture? How does that feel? Now, this is called being on subject. This is with being on subject. You're aware of your body. You're aware of your energy, however it may be. So now what I want you to do is think of something that really bothers you and put it outside on the other side of the room. And on the other side of the room, you can see it. And I really want you to be concerned about it. And it's getting bigger and it's coming towards you and you can't do anything about it. And it's really bothering you. Did you notice difference in your body? Did you notice a difference in your energy where you feel things? Did something get tighter? Most people feel like they take their energy and it's all over there and they're off balance. They're all off balance. So what if, bring your attention back to that thing, but bring all your energy back. Take that deep breath, pick your hands, tap your legs, tap your feet. Find yourself back in here and say, I'm okay. Right now it's good. I'm here in my comfy chair and right now I'm okay. Now from here, I want you to bring your awareness behind your eyes and look out at that thing again. It hasn't gone anywhere. It hasn't changed, but I want you to notice, do you feel differently? Simply by keeping your attention on your body and your awareness, they call it one eye on the inside, as well as what's going out there, you can stay in a more grounded state. You can stay in a place where you're aware of your energy. And a little bit of what we talked about with posture, if you can picture your energy going up higher, overhead, going down deep into the earth, or maybe even like, I don't know, Captain Marvel, a big energy field all the way around you that's made of love, that goes around and shines. You're going to find it's not only more pleasant for you, people are going to be drawn to you. Because do you want to stand next to the person going, oh, what was me? Or the person going, hey, come on in, let's have a great time. Yeah, your personal vibration, if you can start to play this with this exercise, like take all the energy and throw it on the lamp over the room. Just put everything over there on that lamp and just you feel different. Now bring it back, inhale it back in. You don't actually have to do motions. I do, I'm kinesthetic, it helps. And now from here, come behind your eyes, look out at the lamp. The better you get at this, the better a skill you have. If someone walks across the stage that you're not aware of, or somebody says, oh, we didn't start the camera, we have to start it again. And rather than everything go out the window, I'm going to take my breath like I learned how to do, deep into my belly, bring on subject, and then look at that. Oh, I can handle that. I'm here. I'm good. I'm good. Very, 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 very helpful. Okay. It was what if you became the person in the great newt sending people love? That's my evil plan. Send people love. Okay, emotions. When I say emotions, what happens? Did you tune in? Did you tune out? Did you say, oh, goody, we get to talk about emotions? Does a particular part of your body get tight? Your neck, your solar plexus? Does your brain take a hike and you lost what I was talking about? Take note of it because we'll use this later. This is going to help us develop our plan. So I've got several ideas about emotions that might be a little bit different than what you think. If we only ever react to our emotions when they show up, we are like a leaf in the wind. Anything can and does affect us. We're not grounded. It feels like we are at the mercy of whatever is happening. Remember, though, emotions are energy in motion. We are not our emotions. They are a response to an external stimulus, perhaps an internal stimulus, but they are a response to something else. They are something we have. They're not something we are. Oh, when you can separate that to a different event, now we have some more tools we can use. What if the feelings that we call fear and anxiety were really just energy inside of us that doesn't know where to go? It's energy that hasn't been routed effectively so that we can integrate it and have it be a part of us. What if the answer were, rather than stuff them down in a bag somewhere and not look at them, was to learn to reroute them so that they can move up into our hearts and the manifesting frequencies in our throat chakras so that instead of the same power as fear, they actually burn the fear up and transmute it into something that we can use, which is the greatest emotion of all, which is love underneath it. What gets in the way? The sticky part of all this is our judgment of the emotions. Our society has determined that 50% of our emotions are bad and 50% of our emotions are good. Well, if you do that, it sounds like you're half a person. You know, the rainbow isn't just yellow. We can't be happy all the time. And these other emotions serve a purpose. When they show up, they have a purpose. They have a reason for being. However, if you judge them as bad and shut them off and tuck them away, you're never going to get to know them, and they're always going to be that monster under the bed. What if we consider that emotions are rather a spectrum of density, a spectrum of emotions from dense, and as in shame and guilt and grief and sadness, moving all the way up to joy and bliss, all the way in that frequency. If they're a spectrum of just different energies, like colors are a spectrum of just different colors, then it becomes a different thing. If you have a dense thing like a hunk of lead, you're just going to need more muscles to pick it up and move it than if you have a feather. It's not going to take as much. It didn't make it bad to pick up the lead. It just made it different, and that we needed different tools. Another good thing is if you can learn to replace judgment and fear with curiosity. Oh my goodness. Let me say it again. Replace fear with curiosity. Instead of, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Oh, I wonder what can happen. I wonder what I can do. I wonder what's possible here. Oh, it's going to get me. Everything's bad, but I wonder what's possible here. I'm curious about what can we do about that? Can there be? Do you see the difference? Again, that's a bit of a mindset, but when you're talking about emotions, if you can use that mindset of changing fear into curiosity, you've opened another whole door to possibility that you didn't have before. So I invite you to get to know all your emotions. When you can shift quickly from one to another without a stimulus, you have developed neurocircuitry to shift quickly when there is an outside stimulus, such as when something unexpected happens to you on stage. Like we said before, the mind doesn't really know the difference between good and bad. It only knows what you told it. And it is a magnifier. The mind will magnify whatever it is you focus on. I'm sure you've seen people that way. Maybe you've done it yourself. I have. Sometimes you were, oh, I'm worried about this. I'm worried about this. I'm worried. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And oh my gosh. And then you're a victim at the end of your own fear. But what if you're curious? Well, what kind of bear are you outside the room? Do you come out at morning time? Do you come out at dinner? Are you looking for the trash? Are you interested in me? Are you just passing by? The more we know about it, the more we have the ability to do something with it. So let's play with moving from one emotion to another, just as actors do without any particular stimulus. stimulus. Um, let's see. Foster breathing mind, hosting shows. Here's what I want to do. This is a fun game. And we shift emotions. First, going to do emotions, and we're going to do it with a statement. If you take the emotions of up, like happy, excited, joyful, loving, or emotions that are more contracted or denser, which would be sadness, scared, upset, angry, sad, and you learn to switch from one to the other. You are making neurocircuitry without judgment, as it's just a skill to move from one from the other. For instance, let's use the most obvious one, right? Scared. What happens when you're scared? Ah! And then somebody walks in that you really didn't want to have there. Oh my gosh, you're really worried about. Notice how that is in your body. Most people, their neck gets tight and they start to protect this and they go down and they're either going to turn away, but it's a very contracted emotion. Now, someone just gave you a year's free worth of Disneyland tickets or whatever fun place you like. What happens to your body then? Oh, I can bring my friends and we can go as much as we want. And doesn't your physiology change completely? And when your physiology changes, the emotions come up. The places you're contracted change. So let's go into them in detail. And I want you to play with me to do this. So when we're scared, probably the neck is tight and the chest is down. And really, really work up a scare. Do you get tense in your solar plexus? What happens to your arms and your feet? Or are you just stoic and freeze? Or do you feel antsy? So now go over to when you feel excited. Free Disneyland tickets. Did you take a happy breath? Did your energy open up there? Did the posture go tall? Did everything move in your face? Did it open up? So these physical differences between squinched in the face, squinched in the body, squinched in the emotions too. Open in the face, open in the body, big, deep breath is very, very helpful. So again, scared to excited. I get to do this. Oh, I have to do this. I don't want to. I get to do this. I can't wait. Oh, they're going to hate me. I'm going to send you love. Is that fun? You can also make your own list. And in my more advanced classes, we actually do workshops where we play with this, where you can get really good at it. And in fact, I'll tell you later about that. But it's like we have one session where we talk about stuff like this, ask questions, and then another session where we go into, excuse me, actually practicing things and do it back and forth for each other, because you can't practice stage fright. You have to have an audience. So that's what we do. So with this little exercise, you can, how much time do I have? Yeah. Another one you can do is to make your lists of exercises and just practice going back with a sentence. My favorite sentence for this exercise is, there's milk in the refrigerator. Okay, and no one can hear you. You're on Zoom, you're muted, so you can play with me. But if you just say, there's milk in the refrigerator, pretty neutral sentence, right? Now, I want you to say it scared. There's milk in the refrigerator. Now, I want you to say it excited. There's milk in the refrigerator. Okay, now let's pretend you're allergic to milk. There's milk in the refrigerator. Now let's pretend that milk is the best elixir you've ever had. There's milk in the refrigerator. And if you can play with these exercises, and sometimes this is hard for people, but go into the bathroom, shut the door, turn on the fan, no one's going to say it. Say the sentence out loud and practice moving from one to the other. Therefore, when you get stuck in the oh my gosh, what if I forget everything? That's when you're in fight and flight, right? And your brain isn't working. So if you can get from the physiology from, I'm scared to, I'm excited. You've opened up that trapdoor so you can think again. And that physiological move in a second, in just a few moments, you can move from that tenseness to the top one because your neurocircuitry knows how to do it. Otherwise, your subconscious brain, which is trying to keep you safe, keeps you, no, you can't. We're worried. We're in danger. No, I'm not letting you out of this. However, if you've already practiced, I know, I'm going to breathe. I'm going to loosen the top of my neck. I'm going to think of free Disneyland tickets. And you can move at it and you can override this because this is not the boss of you. It's just trying to keep you safe. All right. Let's see here. So we did that. We did emotions. We did sonic. Oh no, sonic. We get to do sonic. Okay. This is fun. Okay. So music has the power to move us. Think about a song that you loved growing up. When you think about it, do you kind of feel transported back to that time? You know, where your body is kind of, it isn't kind of, but you remember the space you were in. You remember how you felt. It's almost as if you could smell and see everything as though you went back in time to that space. So when you're getting ready to go on stage, if you have a music that puts you in a state that brings you back that physiology, now you're into our tools of physiology, right? It can evoke it in a moment so that you can, and that's once you have the physiology, memorize the physiology or go from nervous to how you feel when you play your music. Turn the music off, go from nervous to I play the music and I feel good. So you're practicing these physiological responses. For me, the most important part is from going from off the stage to on the stage. Once you're on the stage, it's generally okay, but getting from off the stage to on the stage. So the more you can move that physiology, the better. So another thing about sound is your own voice is extremely powerful to you. You can feel it vibrate in your body, and to ourselves, to our emotional selves, to our little inner learner and so forth, the sound of your own voice in a comforting tone, even if it's just a or you got this, or any sound humming to yourself is particularly a humming up and down your body kind of integrates it sonically. And affirmations are important here if they work for you to say that, or even just an I love this exercise. It's singing. I hope it sounds okay on the microphone, but it's A, because it's silly. It gets me out of my head. B, because it activates my breath. And C, because it's sound. That sound starts to loosen up my voice, which puts me into my playful mode, which is the one I like to come to you in. That's when I'm in my most creative spot. And yes, so there's so much about sound and breath and deep breathing. Yeah, let me give you my favorite breathing exercise, and I'm going to put some sound with it. Okay. And this is a grounding exercise, and you can make it up if you don't really picture these things. I'm a kinesthetic person, so I like to use hand motions. You don't have to use hand motions. But what we're going to do is imagine a breath coming from overhead, and it lights up your brain, comes down to your throat, opens it up, comes down into your heart and shines its big, big loving light. And then it goes down into your solar plexus, melts it open, stretches it open, and finally lands in your belly. Really big. Let it feel good. Now let it exhale down through your legs, your feet, deep into Mother Earth. Let Mother Earth charge it up with all her nurturing energies. Bring it back up with an inhale through your legs, knees, feet, deep into your belly again. Let that stretch out. Let it feel good. Let Mother Earth nurture you. Inhale up through your solar plexus, through your loving heart, through your beautiful throat, through your amazing creative mind, well up overhead. Now keep that in mind. We're going to do it again, but I'm going to play something for you, and then I'll tell you why it works. So take that nice big breath from overhead, deep through your brain, through your loving heart, deep into the solar plexus, let it melt and stretch, down into the belly, nice and relaxed, and exhale down through your legs, deep into Mother Earth. Bring her nurturing energies up through your feet, through your legs, deep into your body, deep into your wisdom center, up into your solar plexus and your loving heart, up through your expressive throat, out through your brain, and up overhead. And one more time, bring the breath in from overhead, deep through your beautiful brain, throat, loving heart, beautiful connecting solar plexus, deep wise wisdom belly, and deep down back into the earth. Up from the Mother Earth, up into your belly, your loving heart. Then exhale again up through your heart, through your brain, up overhead. Take a big breath in and sigh it out with a and again a big breath in. Hold it a few seconds, let it feel good, let it nurture you, and exhale with a if you went far, far away, which it's easy to do in that short time, you can lightly touch one fingers against your hand and just be aware of the energy where you feel. Did anything tight let go? Did anything move? Did you feel the beautiful bowls in a different place in your body? Do you feel differently now than you did just a moment ago? So I'm going to explain why these work, do a little bitty recap, and be so excited for your questions. And yes, I have things that we can do on stage and things you can do with your talk, but these are the ones that are most important today is to get you from off the stage onto the stage. Why crystal singing bowls? Why in the heck did I bring those out here? Well, you just experienced why, even though your brain might not know. Crystal, this is one of my favorites, has been used for for decades in electronics because it's really even vibration. Well, it has been used for centuries too, but not in electronics. And those very even vibrations, scientists can count on them. We are also crystalline. We're mostly water. Water is crystalline. Water has memory. You may know the works of Dr. Matsumoto, The Messages of Water, where they took words about water and froze the water, and just the energy of the words changed the structure of the water. Energy changes us. We change. So if we had a day where we're wonky or we feel a little tipped over, when you hear the beautiful energy of a they're so even. They're so pure. Our system goes, want to be still, want to be even, want to come back to center. And they're wonderful. They work in that way. And we can get into a whole conversation about that, but it's really not important now. What's important is, did that affect you in some way? Did you feel it in some way? Did you hear it in some way? And of course, the microphone over Zoom limits it in some way, but I really wanted to share that with you. And for a quick review, we talked about the main thing with fight and flight is understanding the nature of the beast. In fight and flight, our subconscious brain is trying to keep us safe. So it shuts that emergency door, wham, in the brain off and puts us into fight and flight, the protective mode, where you're either going to fight, run away, or freeze. To open it up, we have 5 different skill sets we can use. One is to start with the simplest, which is the physical, to loosen the neck. When you loosen the neck, put your hand on your belly, breathe through your nose, hold it a few seconds, and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. You've activated your parasympathetic nervous system and your brain is coming back online. 2, mental skills. The simplest and most wonderful one I love is send everybody love. Come from a place of being grateful they're here. I used to do this when I used to do dog agility. Those are the ribbons back there. And sometimes we would get so nervous. I even got to the point where I would send the judges who are going to tell me if I did it right or wrong. I would send them love. I mean, they're on their feet all day giving us things to do. So I would send them love. I would send the people I was auditioning for love. I would send anybody who's out there in the audience, and especially you, lots of love. Instead of, please like me. Next is, I get to do this. I get to be with you. Yay! Not I have to. Energy. You want to be able to start to be aware of your energy. Start to notice when you're around a person you really like, did your energy feel bigger? Oh, I bet it did. Or if you get around something, I got to clean the bathroom. Oh, did it get smaller? Or maybe you were excited about that because then it was going to be clean. It doesn't matter. Just notice. I like to play. All right. And so from that energy and motion, once you learn your energy, then you can start to use it specifically. And our exercise for energy and emotion was to start to physicalize emotions without a stimulus. There's milk in the refrigerator. There's milk in the refrigerator. And then, as quickly as you can get through every symptom, open up your posture, open up your breath, open up the thought that you tell yourself to, there's milk in the refrigerator. And shift back and forth and really go into the scary ones. Because if you can make friends with those scary ones, you'll realize it's just energy that doesn't know where to go. It's trying to keep you safe, but you've kept it in a box. And if we can give it a place to go, which is to move that scared into excited, scare-sided, then it has a place to go and it doesn't have to stay stuck, and you can use it to your advantage rather than just trying to hold it down. It's like trying to keep the lid on a pot of boiling water. Okay. Anyway, and then, so the next after that, we used our sonic tools, which can be a song you like, a piece of music that means something to you. Actually, if you can sing a song you like, even more powerful. Or for me, my favorite beautiful alchemy crystal singing bowls. Ah. So I want you all to take a nice deep breath in, and thank you all for being here, and just tell you, as I did in the beginning, you matter. What you bring to this world and your own specific flavor matters. Some people are going to be drawn to me because I'm goofy and I like to play, and some people are not. Some people want to be drawn to you in the way that you bring the material across, because you're your special energy and you're unique. Like each one of these different bowls is completely unique, and it can only be what it is. And if I try to make it something else, like stuffing a sock in it, it's not going to be what it can be, and it won't sound as good. But when we just let it ring clear all by itself, that vibration goes out and touches people's hearts. When your energy goes out, you become the bowl. And it's not like you're bringing the people to you. It's your energy goes out and they come to you because they want to entrain to that loving energy, to that energy of truth and passion that you bring, to that message that you know is going to change their life if they hear it. It's an opposite way of thinking about it. We don't go out and blah all our energy on people. We come in and we breathe and we pull in the heavens and Mother Earth. We pull in our sounds. We pull in all our love from our heart and sending love out to other people. And in this very giving state, you become all of who you can be, and your people will find you. And the ones who don't are not your people. Oh, so let me close with you matter. Your voice matters. Your message matters. Let's help you get it out there. Send the fear monster packing. Thank you very much. And any comments or things you want to say, I can't wait to chat with you, or put them in the chat. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much, Diane, for that enthusiastic and informative approach to confidence. Yes.
You are
And
so welcome.
yes, we really loved hearing that. And now let's head on to our question and answer portion. We encourage the audience to ask questions by raising their hands on their screen or using the raise hand feature on Zoom, or you can unmute yourselves if you don't know where that is. I will allow you guys to unmute yourself, and then if you're called by the speaker, we will also unmute you. Oh, so many people are sending love to the chat boxes.
Oh, I'm so happy. This is wonderful. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, Susie, oh, I'm so grateful. That nothing makes me happier than to hear something like that. Thank you, thank you. And Anuma, oh, you are so welcome. It's my great, great pleasure. What do we have here? Oh, thank you. Jennifer, yay! What do we have, Luis? For the enlightening thought, I feel good about applying a happy, playful mindset. I am so grateful to hear that. Is it Luis or Luis? In either case, it's a beautiful name. And yay. And Maureen and Noella.
It
I
seems like
am interested if there was anything specifically that you would like explained in more detail or that hit you strongly, because I covered a whole boatload of stuff. I actually do a whole course on these 5 things in a lot of detail. But I figure if we gave you some tools that you can talk about, it would be better. And Jumana, oh, thank you so much. Because the first one, when we started with the physical, did that hit you as a quick way you could approach something? Can they just unmute if they can't figure out how to
Yeah,
look? Or
they
wave
can
your
unmute
hand and talk?
themselves. Yeah,
Yes,
they
yes,
can. I
yes.
think Karina wanted to raise her hand. Is she, are
Yeah,
you raising? I,
I have a question. So what happens or how should you handle a situation where you like are giving a presentation and then you forget what you say, what you're saying, or you lose your train of thought, or you just kind of get like frozen? What advice do you have on that?
Oh, several things. The first one is absolutely, because when you forget, what are we doing? We're jumping right into fight and flight, right? If you can loosen your neck, breathe back into your belly, your body knows this. It knows what you're going to do. It's all in there. So if you can activate into that, that's the first thing you can do. When we get into another session called preparation, when at all possible, always have bullet points of what you were going to say, because it's like partly I write out what I'm going to say, and partly I just have bullet points, because in the moment, somebody like you will ask me a beautiful question that I want to talk about in a different way. You can do whichever thing is like that way. You can do whichever thing is best for you. But if you at least have, okay, I'm going to talk about, I have it's PMEs for me: physical, mental, energetic, emotional, sonic. I've made up a little word so I can remember where my place is, that I could even write on my fingertips if I needed to. And with the breath, the other thing you can do is once you send love out to them, you shifted the energy off your fear into who is out there. Oh, what am I telling them? What do they need to know right now? And then your extra wisdom that you have back there, it might not be the exact thing you were going to say, but it's going to be something that you need, that they need to hear. It's another whole subject, but when you connect with your audience, there becomes a third entity called us. There's me and there's you. And when we talk, we have this relationship. And that opens up another communication channel, because I feel you now. And so now I have access to more vibrational wisdom than I had before. And so maybe the point I was going to talk about might be better served if I take a breath, just relax, because it's going to come in when you open the door back up, because you know your stuff, right? What do you speak about, Karina?
Well, I haven't done any public speaking yet, but I'm a matchmaker, so I feel like I really need to get out there and try to recruit singles for my clients. So I want to work on my speaking skills to deliver my message, basically.
Beautiful. Oh, yes, we absolutely need you. And these little tools that I shared with you about loosening the neck, about get to, have to, about sending them loves, you can share with your people when they're going to meet somebody and they're nervous to talk with them. Just those couple of little handfuls of things, you can take them. They're all yours. Take them, use them, give them those couple of things. And then as you practice it yourself, they're going to feel that, because simply changing the body physiology from, I'm going to mess up, to Disneyland tickets. Just get good at practicing that. And the other thing I would tell you is, like, when you're dealing with people, whether it's in a group or not, I pick one person, and really try and give it to them. And it might be a person I know. Or for instance, I picked Sophie and Sandy and I put them up right underneath my camera. And I spoke a lot to Sophie and Sandy because she has this beautiful smile on her face and it comes up. And I get an energy from her that uplifts me. Does that make sense as well? And people are going to get from you your love, your satisfaction with a relationship, your care about them, so that they can both have love, so they can bring more love to the world. And so the more you can recenter on your I'm love, I'm about spreading love, I want to help you find love, and I'm good at this, by golly, the more they're going to get it. Did that help?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. That brought a
You're
lot of
welcome.
insight. Thank
Yay. Congratulations. That's awesome.
you.
very cool job, Karina. Yeah. And
Very nice. I appreciate that.
yeah. And I believe like a lot of people here, uh, already show their gratitude, with your talk. And I also, for me, I appreciate the part when you said like you can't paint over panic. I love that.
Yes,
Yes, really to
yes.
recenter yourself.
They never taught us anything different. They taught us basically to shove it down to paint it over, and you can't. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Anuma.
Yes. And
Yes.
does
Thank you,
anybody
Stu.
have any other questions? Maybe you'd like to share, Deanne, about your offer to them?
Sure, I have. If you would like to just contact me, we have so many wonderful things happening. Should they contact you, Keziah, or should I put my
You can put
email in the
yours. Yeah,
chat?
it's
Okay.
best if they
You can
reach
just
you.
Right, because I have coming up in September, I'm going to be launching an app which is going to have some great content on it, some mini courses. We're going to be launching a program that I told you that will be like live on Zoom, where we have it's a membership of one, like conversations on confidence, and then a practice session sort of thing. Then there'll be different levels on how much individual work that you might want to have. Or I do free Sunday sound baths once a month. If you want to get on that list, you can just say these sorts of things. And I think, did they get a PDF when they signed up for this? I've
Um, no, but you can send us the
ah
link for it.
Okay. Email me, and I have a PDF. It's the 5 offstage keys to onstage radiance. It'll be all yours, and it's loaded with stuff that will keep you busy for a long time. And there are also things that you may or may not have considered. But just email me and say PDF, and that would be awesome. That
That's
would be
great.
awesome. And
Thank
I
you.
will let Keziah know later when things happen, that sort of way.
Yes, we will also put your email address to the replay session so that they can reach
Beautiful.
you there, and then they can get that PDF from you.
I'll
It's
try and email you a link so you can put a link in with it too. So that would be
wonderful
great.
that, yeah, that would be
Yeah,
great.
I'll
Yeah.
do that. I don't want to waste our precious time doing that here. But anyway,
Oh,
the
nice.
energy from this group is so wonderful. Oh,
A lot
basking.
of beautiful people right now. Yeah.
Yep.
And if anybody else doesn't have any questions, I want to read through all the comments that the the members right now has said in the chat box for the gratitude circle. If anybody would like to add, feel free to unmute themselves. So I like what Louise said, that thank you so much for enlightening info. I feel good about applying a happy or playful mindset. It's really on the mindset, right? Yes. Great meeting to start off the day and very powerful presentation. I have learned something definitely. What a wonderful
Yay.
day would be when we start with this amazing energy. That's really true. You start your day right, right? And a lot of people really love the way you spoke today. And the emotional and energy part by Noella, she appreciated that. Switching from negative to positive again. All right. So, anybody who would like to add their takeaways and their gratitude to our speaker, please feel free to unmute themselves. So, Joseph, would you like to say anything?
No, I'm actually at work right now, so I can't talk too much.
No
Thank you for
problem.
joining us from work.
Yes,
Yeah,
I,
I'm actually
Joseph is really participative.
I'm actually taking care of all this stuff here.
You have a million screens. Oh my goodness.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Well, I invite
but I
everybody.
appreciate everything. I did learn a lot.
I'm grateful. Thank you. I invite everybody to start with the physical one and start to notice when you get upset about something or afraid of doing something or something that you don't want to do, to start with the loosening your neck and breathing into your belly through your nose. Start with that one. Start every time you notice it. The second thing, start to play with, do you feel your energy? Where does it, do you feel it contract? Do you feel it go out? And start to play with it. Start to notice, do you feel someone else's energy? Because the more aware you get of it, the more you can play with it. And when you're in an audience or speaking with one person or many people, that energetic response is really important. Because as you can guess, I can get pretty pretty big. And there's some people who that's just not appropriate. And when I'm in my receiving space, I sense that so I can back it down. And so will you. Then play with the get to, have to, and the sending everybody love. Then the other ones, like there's milk in the refrigerator, those are workshop things. You definitely need to practice those, but they will unlock you in more ways than you can even imagine. I've taught singing and musical theater for over 50 years, and there's really not very much, if you can get over the I'm going to look stupid part into doing it, it becomes magic on stage.
That's very informative. So we'll really take note of that, starting with the physical aspect of like loosening up ourselves. I like that. Yeah.
Look at
All
these
right.
beautiful comments. I'm like, Maureen, I love yours. Sending love out to the audience as you walk on the stage. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes.
That's so true. Totally agree. Changing the, I love the sending the love aspect to it instead of, oh, what am I gonna do? What will they think of me? So
It
that,
really is huge.
that's true. When I first started here, that's those were one of my anxieties, like, oh, what would people think? But if you know
Hmm.
that you're sharing a beneficial thing to others, it would shift your fear to excitement. Right. And as what Iman has said before, um, n- uh, being nervous and feeling excited is the same thing. You know, the chemical reaction inside our body, it's just the same emotional feeling. So why not
Well,
switch the, yeah,
beautiful. Well, you're right, because it's all that sparky energy that runs around when you're nervous and when you're excited is too. So that word scare sighted sometimes help people get from one to the other.
care sighted. That's cool. Yeah, that's true. All right. So if anybody doesn't have any questions or would like to share any of their takeaways, we want to thank. Oh, Noella, would you like to say anything?
Sure.
Awesome. Okay, we'd love to hear it.
Thank you so much, Diann, for that wonderful presentation. Like I said, uh, I I just joined Toastmasters, and
Yay.
I just gave my third speech. Um, the emotional part and the energy part, just like you see me, like I feel like tearing up. That gets to me. And like you said, I get nervous first, but once I'm in there and the conversation is flowing, I didn't realize that, but now you've said it. I start feeling confident and I try to draw my audience. I want to be a public speaker, but I want to be a storyteller, mainly like my personal speeches
Mhm.
with less sense of humor because I don't have that much sense of humor, like but really thank you so much.
You are precious. You are precious. What you just brought with that deep level of authenticity, you can't make up, you can't buy, you can't learn. It's just who you are. And it's beautiful, Noella. It's totally beautiful. Thank you for sharing your gift with us. The people
Thank
want that. They want that piece of you, my dear.
thank you.
Congratulations. You're going to
Thank,
rock it.
thank you.
Oh, that
Oh,
made
that,
my heart so happy.
yeah, me too. Like that was so genuine. I love the energy. Okay. So thank you so much, Diane, for sharing your talk, your knowledge, and teachings with us. And also thank you everyone for showing up at today's event. Our next event is going to be on August 15, 2023 at 9 a.m. Pacific. That is still Tuesday. And we are going to have Laura Jackson Liu talking about how to master the three M's of dynamic messaging. So to sign up for that, you can go to this URL that I will put in the chat box. And I'd like to remind everyone that if you have any additional question, please contact Diann at her email address at diann@alexander.com, which I will also put again in this in the chat box so that you everyone can see it. And I will also put that in the replay. There will be a recording of the video, a replay. You will see it, and I will also attach there the PDF that Diann would like to share with us. So once more, thank you so much, everyone, and thank you so much, Diann. And we will see you on the next event. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.